find it easy to live without her.
Hey everyone, you're listening to Capture the Moment, the official podcast from Moment Magazine. I'm Bethany and I'm here with the Moment crew.
Hey guys, I'm Janine with a spotlight on the season's most relevant print trends.
Hey guys, I'm Jenna and I'm here to talk about color today.
Hi guys, I'm Simbo and I will be talking about the details today.
Hi guys, I'm Tianxi, bringing you the shapes and the lines and the silhouettes that made us do a double take.
Yeah, so today we're going to be breaking down the biggest trends from fall-winter 2025 runways, just kind of like what stayed on our mind and what we really liked. So I'll be kind of talking a little bit about all the fabrics that we saw on the runway, and we've all seen a lot of fur in the fall-winter.
For sure.
Yeah. So I feel like it was everywhere this season. A lot of the designers really went in. It added like a bunch of big silhouettes, but it wasn't just in like animal prints. It was also in like rich like jewel tones, which was really fun. Like Jill Sanders had a lot of fun with like colored furs, and it like brought this like nostalgic kind of like dramatic sense. It wasn't really like mob wife, I would say. I think that we moved on from that, but it was a lot more like kind of like chic, like cool on it, if that like makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely gave like a luxury feel with it not being fully luxury. Like we were seeing a lot of thrift stores and like secondhand fur going through the market right now, which I think is really good. But yeah, talking about the jewel tones that you mentioned earlier, I think that also plays into like the whole 80s comeback, big time. And I'm excited to see where that goes because I feel like the long fur coat was also very big in the 80s.
It was like, definitely power dressing coming back. We're going to see that a lot with like the silhouettes, which we'll like talk about a little bit later. But another trend that we saw with fabrics was leather, and it completely brought like the rave culture to the runway, and this was seen a lot with like Prada and Tom Ford. For the Prada runway, they used it in both the men's and women's like runway. It was supposed to look like a club. Like it had a bunch of like scaffolding, like metal bars and stuff, but with like this really like chic like oriental carpet. So it like directly pulled that, and I thought it was interesting that they reused that like set for both their runways, but it kind of made the garments like a lot like fit way more into that collection, with like leather being like sexy and very clubby, but also like very like tailored. So it was like very elevated and still like luxury. It still like fit Prada. And then Tom Ford had that really cool set with like frosted, like kind of like sweaty like windows. And I think they really nailed it with that. I definitely would wear a lot of that collection.
I feel like with the rise of like Charlie XCX and the whole rave culture, it's definitely going to bring out a lot of more like, fun looks rather than like very sleek and sophisticated styles, which I'm excited to see. And I think leather is like the perfect fabric for that culture. So yeah,
I'm kind of surprised we didn't see a lot of like protesters. Because I feel like people are still on it, but maybe we're kind of swinging the other way. And everyone's just like, I just want to wear leather. But Colleen Estrada, she had a lot of leather looks, but they were all sustainable, and they were all like made sustainably, and they weren't sourced from animals, which is really cool. But I don't know if you guys have the money for that.
No.
Moving on to wool and knits, I'm so excited to see a lot of like knits on the runway, because it's a lot slower than like all the fast fashion we're seeing. It's so much more hands-on, which I really like, and it was like super chunky, and like I think that's kind of the fabric I expect when I think fall winter, because you like need warmth and everything. So I feel like that was the most realistic one, and we saw it with a lot of like oversized chunky layers, like proportions and all of that, and Miss Sony did a really good job with that. Like a lot of their looks were all knit, which I think is interesting, because now we're entering this like, it's maximalist because the knits that they're using is like a lot of different colors and like sparkles, but it's like minimalist in the way that it's all the same thing. So I think that was really cool, like what they did with that. Do you guys know how to knit?
I've tried, I've done my little experiments, but
Yeah.
it is definitely really fun and it takes that time. So I get it with like that slow fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can knit for like Prada or something.
We'll see.
One day.
One day. And then lastly, I'll just talk a little bit about the silk that I saw on the runway. Valentino had some really cool, like, funky styling with like some silk skirts and dresses and all of that, but I really like it because going back into that like maxi minimalism, it kind of brought that chic, quiet, luxury minimalism to a very like maximalist runway, especially with Valentino, and I really liked that. I think Dries Van Noten did so good with that. Sometimes when I watch like these runways, I get like a little like FOMO. Like I wish I was
100%.
wearing those garments, but I don't know. If I had to pick a runway to like wear the entire collection, I think this year I would have picked like Chloe.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Easily. That would have been a
Yeah.
no-brainer.
But also, I don't know, because if I could play like dress up, I would wear a lot of like polka dot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking about polka dots, obviously they're back, but we're seeing them in a little different way this time. I don't know what you guys have been seeing, but definitely like varied shapes or sizes, I mean, and seeing them with like different silhouettes has been really cool.
Yeah.
And it still gives that like nostalgic vibe, but not really like, it doesn't seem dated. It's like fun and like versatile.
It's like so classy. I think of like Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, for sure. And personally, one of my favorites I've seen from this season was print mixing. Like you were talking about
Yeah.
Dries Van Noten earlier. I think Dries Van Noten is really good with print mixing and prints in general. We saw like a lot of clashed florals and stuff with stripes and plaids and all that. So yeah, and Tom Brown also did a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, I love him.
Oh my
He's so
god.
good.
Yes.
I like it though because he does a lot of like, it's like very like dramatic, like theater kind of. He always has like a story that he tells.
Yes.
But it's not too crazy that when he mixes print, like it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But he also kind of like, he owns like plaid. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
like all of that. So I feel like he just like does such a good job with print mixing. I don't know. Do you guys like print mix a lot in your I feel like I'm too scared.
That's my biggest problem.
Yeah.
I definitely will experiment with color more than I will with print mixing, but I think it's so fun, and if you do it
Yeah.
tastefully, then it just turns out so cool.
I agree.
I just don't have that nick yet. Maybe.
Yeah. And I don't know how what you guys been seeing, but I know you were talking about like that, how Mob Wife is kind of going out, and I think that is like in synthesis with like the leopard moving away with like
Yeah.
animal prints.
Yeah.
So we're seeing more like zebra, tiger, and like deer prints with that, which I thought were really interesting. We saw like Brandon Maxwell. I don't know if you guys saw, but he did something really cool with like the deer print.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a different interpretation
I
of
like deer
animal.
print. I think
Yeah.
deer print's a lot more like feminine, like
Oh, yeah.
softer
Mhm.
than like leopard print, which is a lot more like not raunchy, but like, you know, like
It's like-
sexy
yeah.
or like whatnot. But like I think the deer and like even the peacock, I kind of
Yeah.
really
It's
like.
gorgeous.
It's giving like feather in my hair. Like I would bring that back. I would wear that. But I like that a lot, and I think like Balmain and Balmain, they
Mhm.
had a lot of like the animal print too. Even it was like, I like that, especially for fall winter. I feel like it'll carry over to like spring summer too.
Yeah.
A
Hopefully.
little bit, yeah.
Because I really like it. I hope it sticks around for a bit and it's not just a micro trend, but we'll see.
Yeah, and like speaking of spring, summer, we've been seeing a lot of florals right
Yeah.
now, but it's more like interpreted in a fall kind of moment,
Yes.
which is really cool. To me, I think of like grandma's couches or like what your grandma would wear, but it's like cool the way these designers are doing
Yeah.
it in more like a vintage, but it doesn't feel like you're wearing grandma clothes.
Exactly.
Honestly, even then, like I'm down. Like
Yeah, like it still looks cool.
I'll wear grandma's clothes. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of nostalgic, and I think that like even to like you said, like 80s, like that loud print, like
Oh yeah.
all of it's coming back. Like even like all of those like chuggy vintage floral prints. But I like it, and I think I honestly like. I think that's a good print to print mix with too.
For sure.
Like floral prints.
Totally.
Because it's
Yeah.
not like too much.
Mhm.
But yeah, I always think of like Lana Del Rey when I
Oh
think
my
of like a
God.
soft
That's so true.
floral print. But definitely very feminine. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it in like menswear or
Yeah.
anything.
I
I would like to.
Yeah, speaking of that, actually, I feel like menswear has definitely been starting to incorporate more like feminine, I guess,
Yeah.
like features into their clothes. And speaking of, I saw a lot of soft pink or like pale pink on the runway this season,
Yeah.
not just in women's and men's. And I think it honestly looked so cool. Like
I
it was
like
just
it.
the perfect pop of color basically to simple outfits, and I thought it was really fun.
Do you have any pale pink in your closet?
I actually, because I used to buy like a pink like tracksuit for myself. I think right now, because yeah, pink is well for men's wear right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I'm glad
Yeah.
it's in.
Definitely
Yeah.
a fashion moment for sure.
I feel like it's also very easy to style, so it makes it like almost a neutral for the season, which is good.
Yeah.
Moving on, I wanted to also talk about the baby blue or powder blue that's
It's
been
like
in the
gender
industry.
reveal.
No, literally.
Soft pink, baby blue, florals.
I guess it's just gender reveal season,
It is
guys.
that season.
But yeah, it's also like along the same lines, like very simple. It's paired well with a lot of cool tones, so
Yeah.
I think it fits for fall winter. I think we're seeing it on everything from oversized coats to more of like knits,
Yeah.
or even in simpler things like a tank top, you know.
Yeah, I liked it on the Tom Ford runway.
Oh my God,
With like that
yeah.
button up and the leather. I feel like a lot of brands or designers are doing really good with like that harsh like leather, like
Oh,
sexy leather pants, and then you have like a very casual, like sophisticated, like baby blue like top. It's like
Exactly.
I like that contrast a lot. And I think that it started too with like the blue eyeshadow.
100%.
Which I still love. I hope it doesn't go into it.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun.
I actually just bought blue eyeshadow,
Yay.
so I've been influenced, guys. Moving on, I also wanted to touch on this cherry or berry tone trend that's been going on. This has been going on for like 3 years at
Yeah.
this point. It's been at its peak, and I don't think it's going anywhere,
No.
which is just insane to me. But I honestly think it's lasting this long because it's just a little touch to an outfit. It just
Yeah.
makes it like sophisticated and luxurious, but not in an overbearing way. It's
Yeah.
a very simple color.
I feel like we're turning more into like minimalism and stuff, and I think that people are having more fun with color, and so they're wearing like a very basic outfit with like a pop of like their pink handbag or like
Yes.
pink, like not pink, red, duh, the red handbag, like cherry red shoes, like, and it's like both way. Like my boyfriend has like red alohas that he loves to wear with like any of his outfits
Oh, yeah.
too, and it's like such a good pop. But I really liked it on the runway too with like Acne Studios. Like that was so good.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of like the overall aesthetic that makes consumers want to keep purchasing it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like it's still like polished, but like edgy, and,
Yeah.
it just like adds a pop. To,
It's like
the whole
it's
look.
easy
Yeah.
to do too.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to like copy that from the runway.
Oh, yeah.
It's like really
I completely agree. In complete contrast, I also wanted to touch on this butter yellow that we were seeing a lot of as well. I saw it on the Louis Vuitton runway, which was interesting because I don't take them as a brand that would use more like pastel tones, but somehow it worked really well. And yeah, I would love to have more of this shade in my closet, but
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately, I do not.
I know. I think it's really cute. I think it was really fun in fall winter, and I think it'll carry over to spring too. It's very like versatile.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the yellow is a very smallest color for autumn.
Yeah.
You think about like fall, the yellow, brown,
Yeah.
red will be like the smallest color for this season.
I agree. Yeah. So there was like a lot of like detail too.
Yeah. Because for this season, like the details we see on the garments, we some of them we used to see in the other seasons as well. So the first one, I think is everybody see is the wiping, because actually the wiping is the techniques that the designer use in their designs, like for the drapings, for braidings, for all around the bodies.
Yeah, lots of wrap dresses I saw too.
Yeah.
I like it with a lot of like, I saw it with a lot of the silk, like a lot of like the wrapping with the silk, because it like plays with that fabric, and I think that's like translating to like how we're gonna style like a scarf or something.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, you know, you can like, it's easy to like wrap it like around your outfit to like add a little pop or something. So I thought that was cool too.
Yeah, it's like everyone can use like their accessories in their like home like to be designed by their own. And also talking about this is also like another trend that we see in this season, the runway, is the neck flourish. It's kind of like the designers use a lot of like fabrics layered on their neck to around the models, like to create the volumes. I think it's another way like to pop up, like to become like a point that people can see in the autumn.
Yeah, I think this trend in particular is very interesting because it's giving like 1600s like gesture,
like
but
Edgar Allan Poe.
exactly, but it's
I
like
liked
so
it.
high fashion at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like that's like, it kind of came from like the Nosferatu, like that too,
Oh
like
yeah,
gothic, like romantic kind of vibe, and I really like it. And it's very costumey, but I still
Exactly.
think that it's like fun to layer, like especially in the winter and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also at that point we're talking about like the 16th centuries. The next one is the bows. So we can see like the bows in almost every like seasons, and bows is almost everywhere for this one now. And we can see designer use very big and bold like bow for like all kinds of places, like around the waist, around the neck, even the back. It's becoming like accessory for the garment as well in this season.
Yeah, I saw like a lot of belts too, like opposing like bows, because like bows like wrapped around the waist too a lot, and I feel like we went from coquette to like now like tasteful, like
Yes.
placement of
Yeah.
bows, not just like everywhere.
Exactly.
But like now it's like kind of being replaced with like a lot of the belts too, which I like layering belts. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's true. Because for the other seasons, we see like bills is just seem like the accessory for the designs. But for this season, the designer use a lot of like bills like to layer for each other and to become like part of the designs for these seasons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it seems like layering in general is
Yeah.
like a big thing now, which
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving.
I like it with
100%.
accessories too. I think it's a lot easier to do, and it's like easy to create like a cool like silhouette when you do like when you cinch like the belt or something. You know what I mean? I think that's fun, especially with like layering like oversized stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just to add some like shape for the
Yeah.
clothes. Yeah.
Honestly, the shapes this season is so on point. The first one I want to introduce is formal necks. It's clean, cozy, and just effortlessly elevated.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's vibe where it's freezing outside, but you still look like you totally have your life together.
Yeah, I like that. With like a lot of like we were just talking about like the ruffle like
Oh,
necks
yeah.
too, or even like the turtlenecks and like scarves. I think it's like it's kind of like not cunty, but you know what I mean? Where you're like you have like that like
No, I know
funneled
exactly
neck and
what
you're like
you
very
mean.
chic.
You just feel
Yeah, it's very
exactly.
chic.
You
I like
feel
it a
like
lot.
luxurious in a way. I guess.
Yeah, that's
And you're
like
also cozy. Like
yeah, you're warm.
Yeah, because the first thing that people want in fall and winter season is warm.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like it too because it's kind of like very like soft and like you know like you're like reading a book like at a, with like a coffee, but then like on the other hand you have like those huge like power dressings,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is really cool with like the shoulders and all of that. Yeah.
Then we have got to the sculptured shoulders. It's that strong, tailored looks that instantly says, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's padded or just super sharply cut, it added this confidence to the whole outfit.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's gonna. Do you guys like when you thrift your like blazers? Do you keep the shoulder pads in, or you take them
100%.
out? Yeah.
It's a crime to take them out. I just think, I don't know, I love the boxy look. I've just been like really into that recently, especially on like more feminine presenting people. I just think it's such a good juxtaposition. And
like androgynous.
Exactly.
With like a good updo too.
Oh yeah, with like a mini skirt or like tallest heels you have.
Oh,
it's like perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's white like trousers. It's high waist, flowy and super flattering. They are that perfect combo of comfort and polish. Like you can wear them to a meeting or to get coffee and still feel put together.
Yeah, I love my like baggy wide leg pants.
Yeah.
I know like skinny jeans are like crawling back a little bit, but I still think that the wide leg trousers are like definitely gonna stay around because they're very easy to like play around with like that silhouette.
Exactly.
And they're so comfortable.
Yeah, and it just like looks effortless.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I agree. I like it a lot, and it's like on both sides too, like men and women. So yeah, I don't know if I want to see men in skinny jeans anymore.
I can't actually see that anymore.
Yeah, so maybe a pass on that one.
Okay, so the last one is peplum.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's different than before. It's more subtle, more modern, and someone literally said to me, "Peplum's back, but like grow up."
Yeah, I know. I saw like a TikTok the other day of like Alex Earl wearing a peplum top.
No.
And at first I was like, I was like, no, like, I don't want to wear a peplum top. But then I saw her wearing it, and I was like, this makes sense for her style. And I was like, honestly, like, I can see it like crawling back a little bit, which is like kind of scary. But like, I don't know, like I feel like I could see someone wearing it with like micro shorts and like accessories, and I'd be like, that's cute.
It's like an elevated tunic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it just adds more fun. So like instead of just like a regular tunic.
It was really good on the runway. I liked it. I liked seeing it on the runway.
Yeah, it definitely made sense on this season's runway, but just seeing it like in contrast to what we would see a decade ago, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
I think people are traumatized.
No, 100%.
I mean, capris are coming back, and like everyone wore capris with peplum tops.
Yeah,
that's
so,
true. That's
I don't know.
true.
We'll see. But this is really fun, guys.
Yeah.
We should like do this again, like another time.
I would love to.
It's almost like we have some other podcasts up too.
No way.
Yeah, if you want to, check the link in our bio. We have a podcast out with Drew Kibler where he talks a little bit about his creative process.
Yeah, and make sure to follow us on socials, guys. We're Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Oh yeah,
all
lots
those.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you
Bye.
so much for listening, guys.
Bye.
And find it